What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Average Joe on Stimulus YouTube channel, and welcome to your quick, straight to the point, no BS, no clickbait, third stimulus update here for Friday, June 15th, 2021. And big news yesterday, I'm reporting on it to you this morning, so I wanted to have a chance to really look at it, digest it, understand what's going on. President-elect Biden put out their new big stimulus plan that they would like to be passed by Congress. It's not a bill, okay? It's a plan that they're putting out here. I'm going to show you the actual document. We'll walk through it together here and look at the high points, look at what we thought was supposed to happen, what actually is happening, and just make sure you have a clear understanding, and you can always leave your comments below and I'll address those questions in future videos. So without further delay, guys, let's go ahead and jump onto my computer screen. Let's take a deep dive, and I will link to this document in the description as well. Let's take a look at the actual Biden 1.9 trillion stimulus plan. All right, guys, so here is the document. It's from buildbackbetter.gov. President-elect Biden announces American Rescue Plan. It's a $1.9 trillion plan. Let's walk through the details here. I'm not going to read it all to you. So it's called the American Rescue Plan. Let's go down here. First big hits here: mounting a national vaccination program, contain COVID-19 and safely reopen schools. That's a big hit here. We'll talk about the funding that's being proposed to do that. Second big thing here is delivering immediate relief to working families bearing the brunt of this crisis by, here's the big stimulus check update here, sending $1,400 per person checks to households across America, providing direct housing and nutrition assistance, expanding access to safe and reliable childcare, blah, 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 blah. And also talks here about, like I said, direct housing and nutrition assistance, expanding access to safe and reliable childcare, increasing the minimum wage, very interesting in details there, extending unemployment insurance, we'll look at that, and giving families with kids and childless workers an emergency boost this year, supporting communities that are struggling in the wake of COVID-19 by providing support for the hardest hit small businesses, especially small businesses owned by entrepreneurs of color, and protecting the jobs of the first responders, transit workers, and other essential workers. Let's move on down here to the actual details. So first thing here we're talking about is a national vaccination program. So everyone knows that this rollout of the vaccination is just falling apart. I mean, just for example, here in my state, in California, we have the most vaccine doses available and we are just floundering. We are not rolling it out like we should be. There's so much potential to get so many people vaccinated. It's just not happening. So potentially a national vaccination program might make it work better, although generally I've found that the larger or the bigger it comes from the federal level down, the efficiency level also goes down. So we'll see how that rolls out here. But their proposal here is to invest $20 billion in a national vaccination program in partnership with states and localities, tribes and territories. We'll see how that actually works. There's talk here of scale-up testing to stop the spread of COVID. So in addition to vaccinations, we're talking about continued rapid testing, and the plan here is to invest $50 billion in a massive expansion of testing. A public health jobs program. So there's a plan here, a proposal to fund 100,000 public health workers, nearly tripling the the country's community health roles. So that'll be interesting to see how that rolls out. Let's see here. Let's scroll down farther, some actual real details. There's here investing in treatments for COVID-19, protecting workers against COVID-19. Let's scroll down further here. Here's a big detail: providing schools the resources they need to reopen safely. So that's the big controversy. You know, data is supporting that schools are not super spreaders, that some schools have reopened safely without a massive spread of COVID-19. So as part of this stimulus plan, President-elect Biden wants to invest $170 billion, supplemented by additional state and local relief sources for K-12 schools and institutions of higher education. So $130 billion to help schools to safely reopen, expanding the Higher Education Emergency Relief Fund. So that would be $35 billion in funding, which will be directed to public institutions, including community colleges. And then we've got the hardest hit education fund, $5 billion in funds for governors to use to support educational programs and the learning needs of students significantly impacted by COVID-19. Another big one here is providing emergency paid leave to 106 million more Americans to reduce the spread of the virus. No American should have to choose between putting food on the table and quarantining to prevent further spread of COVID-19. So that's going to expand paid leave with respect to COVID-19. Okay, so here are the details on the stimulus check. So give working families a $1,400 per person check to help pay their bills, bringing their total relief payment from this and the December down payment to $2,000. Here's the big information here, and I'm sure that some of the people watching this video are going to be really excited about this if it becomes an actual law. But the additional $1,400 per person indirect checks will help hard-hit households cover expenses, spend money. President-elect Biden's plan will also expand eligibility here. Let me highlight this. Expand eligibility to adult dependents who have been left out of previous rounds of relief and all mixed status households. So that's going to include adult dependents who have been left out, like I said, and also mixed status, meaning for those who had maybe a U.S. citizen and somebody who is undocumented. It sounds like they're going to be included in this plan as well. So I'm sure that some people are going to be excited about that. Here's another big detail: extending and expanding unemployment insurance benefits so American workers can pay their bills. So the plan or the call for action here is to make it $400 per week unemployment insurance to supplement hard-hit workers, cover their household expenses. The plan will extend financial assistance for workers who have exhausted their regular unemployment compensation benefits, extend financial assistance for those who do not normally qualify for unemployment. That's going to be those who are gig workers, self-employed individuals. Let's talk about housing and rental assistance here. So help struggling households keep a roof over their heads. Let's see what the plan here is. Ensure that families hit hard by the economic crisis won't face eviction or foreclosure. So he's calling on Congress to extend the eviction and foreclosure moratoriums and continue applications for forbearance on federally guaranteed mortgages through September 30th, 2021. Help renters and small landlords make ends meet by providing an additional $30 billion in rental and critical energy and water assistance, $5 billion in emergency assistance to help secure housing for people experiencing or at risk of homelessness, extend the 15% supplemental nutrition assistance program or SNAP benefit increase, investing $3 billion into helping women's, infants, and children get the food they need. That's through WIC. Raise the minimum wage to $15 per hour. So that's big news for some people. There's a call here to help hard-hit childcare providers, including family childcare homes, cover their costs and operate safely by creating a $25 billion emergency stabilization fund. Expand childcare assistance to help millions return back to work. That's clearly a big issue that many people are facing. Right now, I know that our family is blessed. I'm able to work from home, and my wife stays at home. But I know that so many people are struggling to make ends meet. They're having to choose between going to work and caring for their kids who are not in school because of remote learning. All that's it's a big fat mess. So the ability to get people back to work and expanding childcare and assistance there is going to be a big benefit. Two big potential changes to tax law here would be making the child tax credit fully refundable. So there's some families that didn't make enough money to have enough offset to where they would get the full tax credit. That potentially could happen, as well as the earned income tax credit was going to be increased here potentially to close to $1,500 from $530. So that might be a big benefit for some of you. And then another big plan here in the Biden plan is to provide small businesses with the funding they need to reopen and rebuild. So that's going to be a small business investment here. Grants to more than 1 million of the hardest hit small businesses. $15 billion to do that, and then leverage $35 billion in government funds into $175 billion in additional small business lending and investment. So lots of big plans there. Support for first responders and other essential workers, and that's in the form of $350 billion in emergency funding for state and local and territorial governments to ensure that they are in a position to keep the frontline workers on the job and paid, while also effectively distributing the vaccine. So those are the big details here. Again, I will link to this document in the video descriptions if you want to take a look for yourself and browse it. Use that Control-F function to find specific keywords or details you want to know more about. But that's the plan. Remember, it's just a plan. It's not the actual bill. It's not a law yet. So a lot that's going to come between here and there. We also have a razor-thin majority. By majority, I mean a tie in the U.S. Senate with the tie-breaking vote being cast by Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. So a lot is unknown right now. Any single Democrat could, as they would say in Congress, torpedo any legislation if they don't get what they want or if they disagree with the fundamentals of it in some way, shape, or form. So a lot has to happen still for this to become a bill and then a law. And then with that, we've got the pending potential impeachment trial for President Trump, or soon to be former President Trump. So a lot still up in the air, guys. If you have any questions, guys, make sure to leave them in the comments and I will answer those questions on future videos. That's all I got for you guys in this video. Make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe if you want to get more no BS, straight to the point stimulus videos. That's what my aim is with this channel. And that's all I got for you guys. Have a great rest of your day and please continue to stay healthy, both physically and financially. Have a good one.